I was the kid who got bribed with chewing gum just to sing in the children's choir at the church. So the whole, from there to where I was, from my childhood to where I was sitting and thinking about entertaining the idea of living in Israel was pretty far out for me. And definitely God's working in my heart. So I took my first trip in 1997. I remember sitting by the Sea of Galilee, and we were having St. Peter's fish, and it was so peaceful. And I remember thinking, when Jesus said, when the storm arose on the Sea of Galilee and he was with his disciples and he said, "Peace, be still," it's kind of like it just stuck there. Paul says, "I am not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ, for it is the power of salvation." And we usually stop there, but it keeps going to the Jew first and also to the Gentile. And I think a lot of people just kind of skim over that part. And if they don't skim over it, they assume that, yes, it came to the Jew first, but they rejected it. And so now it has come to the Gentiles. So it's like God is finished with the Jews. But, if you read Romans and Acts, this is not the message that we get from the scriptures. "For I speak to you Gentiles, inasmuch as I am an apostle to the Gentiles, I magnify my ministry, if by any means I may provoke to jealousy those who are my flesh, and save some of them. For if their being cast away is the reconciling of the world, what will their acceptance be but life from the dead?" When Paul had his salvation experience, God told him, "Paul, I'm going to call you as an apostle to the Gentiles." But Paul did a really funny thing. He didn't run out to the nearest temple and start preaching on the steps to the pagans. In every situation, he went to the synagogue. In every city that he went to the synagogue first. He always started with the Jewish people. I think that throughout history, Satan has tried to destroy the Jewish people. Why? Namely because he knew that through the Jewish people, God was going to send the Messiah. Our idea of a Christian is not necessarily what their idea of a Christian is. As soon as I say I believe in Jesus and he's my Messiah, he's your Messiah, and I believe he came and he died for our sins, they immediately put me in a box and say, "Oh, you're a Christian." I just tell them what I believe. And if they want to put me in a box, they can put me in whatever box they want to, but at least they know what I believe. We know that there are a lot of people that say they're Christians, that really there has been no change in their heart. They aren't new creatures in the Lord. They just say they're Christians because that's what's culturally acceptable for them, or they've been going to church all their life, so that's just what they identify with. But there's a difference between being a Christian and really being born again. And I think that difference is very evident to my Jewish friends in Israel. Sharing him just automatically flows out. It's like falling in love. When you see it all the time with young kids who fall in love, and all they can talk about is the other person. It's because it's new and it's fresh, and they're getting to know them, and they're just bubbling over with whoever that other person is. And I think that's just the way it should be. I don't think that sharing our faith should be something that's forced. I think it will be something that's automatic as we just really fall in love with the Lord.